special guest. Actually, we have two special guests. However, you need to hang around as we talk about Pali football, and I'm sure you will be enlightened as we talk about everything Pali football. So, watch this intro, and we'll see you on the other side. All right. So, thank you for tuning in, and check this out.
Hey, win on me, win on three, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a beat! 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 Stop playing with a beat!
Some call it the gridiron.
Nice run, way to skim it.
Others, 100 yards of pain.
Ah, too much.
We just like to call it football.
Football.
With Facebook James.
Football, baby.
Yeah, that's right. It's football, baby. Hopefully, everything is coming through nice and loud and clear and crispy and all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully, you're doing well this evening on this Thursday afternoon. Man, like I said, we're coming to you live from what I call Dolphin Studios. Basically, it's my sanctuary where I do everything Pali football. So just welcome tonight. So we have a couple things on the show lined up for you tonight. And so again, thank you for tuning in. First of all, we're going to talk about our fundraiser, our spring fundraiser, which is about 7 days from being done in the books for this spring. And so we have one of our parent volunteers who's helping to co-chair our fundraising campaign, Mr. Mark Spoonermore. So we'll bring him on in a few moments. Also, just want to recap our Friday Night Lights practice that we had last week. And, we have a merch store opening. And so I know traditionally we've had a lot of our merch being sold, during game days. And so now you can actually purchase merch from your home, from your living room, on your app, on the TV, on your computer, wherever you do your business, wherever you do your shopping. And so we'll talk about that. And then the last thing is for our JV report part of the show, we have a wonderful interview with the former JV coach, Coach Morrison. So just stay tuned. We're going to hang out for a little bit. And before I continue, let's go ahead and bring on someone who, we have similar interests. We're all in for Pali football. He has a son who's on the team, and he's a senior as well. So our sons have traversed through the Pali football program, and it's always cool to see other dads who share the same passion that I do. He said, you know what, I'm gonna take it one step further, and I actually joined the board this year. And so, without further ado, I'm going to bring on my man, Mr. Mark Spoonermore. Let's give you a little round of applause if we can. Mark, say hello to the people.
Hello.
you can do a little bit better. Hey, matter of fact, let's give it up for Mark Spoonermore. What's going on, Mark? How you feeling, man?
I'm great. Glad to be with you, James.
Hey, man, thanks for joining us tonight. So, before we get started, man, just kind of tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. You can even talk about not only I did reference one son, but you actually have two sons on the team, and so you can kind of talk about that. So, just kind of tell the people who you are.
Well, I'm Mark Spoonermore, dad of Nathan and Matthew, both ball players on the team, as is your son. Very exciting football program, just super excited and happy to be part of it. And, obviously all the families and parents get involved when you come out to the field and you watch some of the practices and the games, but what you don't realize is how much goes on behind the scenes as well, and so it doesn't just happen automatically. It gets done by a lot of the parents like you and me, and it's a it's really a fun experience to be involved with everyone.
Yeah, it's like a big dance. I've been doing this for, oh man, for a number of years. I've been doing this for a number of years. I think, um, yeah, I've been doing this for a while, being a part of the board. And then there were several years where my oldest son, I was just one of those parents who kind of sat around in the back. I think the second year, his second year, I kind of got him involved. And so I believe this is my ninth year being part of the board or affiliated with Pali Football. So it's a wonderful experience, man. And, I just have to say thank you for joining us, man, stepping up and representing, because like you said, you do have, you have two sons on the team. And so just appreciate you, man, because it takes, there's a saying, it takes it takes a teamwork makes the dream work. And so, we can't do it by ourselves. The football team couldn't do it by themselves. And so we try to do everything we can to make sure the boys have what they need. So just appreciate you hopping on board this year. Maybe you're going to stick around for a couple of years until your younger son kind of matriculates through the program. And so just, again, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be part of it.
Absolutely. Now, your particular duty this year is fundraising, but I know that's not your real background, or is it?
No, not at all. I'm a orthopedic surgeon. I take care of a lot of people with broken bones and sports injuries and everything in the middle. And so I wanted to be part of the program and help out in any way. And this year, there's some openings that have happened as some of the parents of the seniors graduated. Some of the previous board members just did such a fabulous job that you think that it just was going to go on forever, but their kids graduate and other people have to step up. So it's a little out of my comfort zone, but I've learned a lot and it's been a fun experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, it's definitely been a fun experience, and I'm sure your sons will appreciate it someday because you're taking time from your busy schedule to kind of help them become the football players that they would want to be, and by you participating, they get to see another side of you, and then you're also spending a little bit more time with them, kind of indirectly. But definitely, being a dad on the sidelines is a wonderful aspect, and that's kind of why we do this. That's why we have the Pali QB Club, because the kids grow up really, really quick in high school, and so this is an opportunity for us to kind of get involved with our kids' lives. And so, just appreciate it. So let's go ahead and, because we can keep going back and forth on this, man. Now you're the Pali Football Spring Fundraising Co-Chair. That's a big title. Kind of tell us what you and Deanna, who's not here tonight, what you're responsible for as it relates to the Pali QB fundraising arm of the football squad.
Well, first and foremost, I think that the parents and the players and the Pali community and probably the public in general has to understand that the financial support of the program, the vast majority, upwards of 90%, comes from the fundraising. It's only about 10% is received from the school or other things through channels like that. The state, the district does not contribute any money at all to the program. So, which actually was enlightening to me, because you kind of assume that a big time high school is going to have just endless amounts of funding for a lot of activities, and it doesn't work like that. And so you learn very quickly that without this funding, this program will not have the success and the things we need to have a good program and a safe program. So that's the first thing. In terms of this program, we've over the last few years used a program called SnapRaise, and it's a very nice online donation program that helps engage the parents, the family members, friends of the family, friends of the football players, relatives, business associates, um, anyone and everyone, because the players themselves log on to the SnapRaise platform, load a profile, and then all of the emails and information goes out to all their friends and family and gives them the opportunity to donate to our wonderful program.
Absolutely. No, that's, being affiliated with Snap Race for the second year in a row. We leveled up our fundraising ability because usually we would just ask the players to kind of donate, whatever they can, maybe, up to. So let me put it in context. Some of the other sports at Pali, some of the teams, um, the teams ask the players to, donate or contribute, like $500, $300, $800, cheers, a whole bunch of money, right? And so what we have done in the past is ask the players to ask, grandparents, cousins, parents to help them raise at least $300 for the season, right? And we usually do that in the spring, and so we have this big campaign. And I must say, for the past 2 years, SnapRaise has really, really leveled up our fundraising capability. It takes because the boys have already done the legwork before by submitting, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35 names and emails, that once it's in the system, it just kind of populates and does its thing. And so the boys are just kind of looking back or waiting to see who donates. Oh, I see Grandma Karen, she donated $50. Oh, I see this particular business anonymously donated $200 to Billy's account. And so it's a wonderful way. And yes, we are almost close to reaching our goal. So I think I have it here on a shared screen. So let me go ahead and pull that up first over here, and then we can kind of talk about. I think we're very, very close to reaching our goal. Mark, what do you think?
It is. It's really exciting. We launched exactly 3 weeks ago today, and that's the other aspect. It's a very dedicated time period of 1 month where this program is in effect, and that way, the parents, the family members, the associates, business partners, they know that this is the month to donate, because this is where the fundraising takes place, so that we can do all the things over the summer and get prepared for the fall football season. And so you might ask, well, why can't you just do it the whole time? But this way, it's a very concentrated effort and kind of gives a deadline, but it also lets us know what our budget is if there's going to be any issues or problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the school does supply a little bit of financial help, but most of the finances, equipment is purchased by this particular fundraiser, and so we have it every single year. It's been like that since I've been a part of the program. And yes, you want to fundraise now because during the summer, that's when you're going to need things, right? Fundraising now allows the Pali QB Club to purchase, balls, helmets, shoulder pads, tape, water bottles, mouthpieces. Coaches always talking about mouthpieces and things of that nature. So it's very, very, very important that parents or supporters donate right now. And of course, you can donate anytime you want to, but this is like the concentrated time, like you said a couple of weeks ago we launched, and so we have about, looks like 7 more days, Mark.
It is 7 more days, so we're going to try to do the final push and get over the number. Our goal is $35,000 for this program.
Yes.
I see on the screen we're at 31,880, and we're just got a little bit more to go.
Man, here's the funny thing, Mark. I was so hoping that we were going to be able to reach our goal tonight, that I had some confetti just ready to kind of drop on our heads tonight. But, I have to say that for a later date, for the confetti to kind of drop and we can celebrate and, pop apple cider bottles or whatever, just regular water bottles and celebrate. But we're only about, $3,100 and some change away from reaching our goal. And so, we're going to make our last push. Now, I have a confession. I have a confession. You want to hear my confession, Mark?
I do. I do.
So on Sunday, so let me go back full screen here. We might come back to this graphic real before we leave. So on Sunday, I was just like, okay, let's get this last push. And so I did some of my graphics. I think on Sunday night I sent out a graphic, and I had one for Monday, for day 10, 8, 9, just counting down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of dropped the ball. So what I'm going to do, I had, just trying to get the last push, right? So I'm gonna make sure tonight, and I'm gonna have to see if I can schedule. I think what'll happen is it'll be much better if I schedule the social media posts to go out without me having to do them, every single day. And so I know there's apps out there that can do that. I need to find a free app that can help me push this social media content out just as a reminder so it can be on people's forefronts. But people are still receiving emails about little Johnny, little Joey being a part of the Pali football team. And so I know it because I still get my son's email. I haven't donated. I don't think my wife and I have donated. But yeah. But let's just kind of look at some of the cheer wall. So I said that to say, Mark, for the next 7 days, I'm gonna make a push to make sure we have a social media presence to make sure that we reach our goal. Okay,
that's awesome, James.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of parents and relatives that are just kind of waiting. They're busy lives. They're excited when they see the wall and they see who's donated, but they haven't quite done it themselves. So I'm excited. I think there's still going to be a big push this last week here, and we're going to get not only to our goal, but we're going to get well above it.
Absolutely. And then, I just don't want to scroll by this wonderful video. So the videos are probably about a minute and a half long, and both of our sons are in it. Matter of fact, I think Nathan passes the ball to my son in the video. I'm going to roll it. Now, the sound, I don't have the sound connected, so we can still see and kind of ooh and ah about the video. But it just kind of speaks to the importance from the player's point of view as to why they should donate. So I'm going to hit the play button. I need to connect the sound at some point, but it won't happen tonight. So you'll just be able to see the video. But for those of you who are watching, we'll post a link in our social media again so that you guys can actually see and hear the video. But this video was done by another one of our parent volunteers. And so that's Marcus right there. And he passes off to your son. Now, I have the sound in my ears, but this is a wonderful campaign. See, look at him. That's my son. So he says that Pali High School supplies the football program with less than 10% of the operating budget, right? So that's AJ. Yeah, it's he's just saying, look, that's Dylan right there. Hey, he's just saying Pali on me, family, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I got it mixed up, but you get the picture. So go check it out, and it's a wonderful video. And so let's kind of scroll up a little bit. Oh, there's your name, Mark Spoonamore. You're a celebrity now, dude.
I don't know about that.
Now, again, there's you don't have to donate 1,000. If you do, that's cool. But you got 500, 250, 100, whatever it is that you want to donate, you can always donate. And so those are just pre-populated amounts, but you can always donate the amount that you want to donate. And then also here's some other ways to help. You can send messages, post on timeline. I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. So I'm going to post on my social media timeline so that some of my family and friends, if they didn't receive the email, or maybe if they did, they can still have an opportunity to support my son. So if you're watching this video, if you're a Pally parent, please do the same. If you're a Pally supporter, hey, you can click on my son's or Mark's son's name, or when you donate, just put Mark or James, and they'll receive some credit. So, and then here's one of the best things that I like about Snap Raise, Mark. Kind of talk about the cheer wall.
Well, that's exciting because those are shout outs to the folks who donated, and it really is a neat platform because it recognizes the donors and the excitement, and it kind of really stirs up that enthusiasm to show how everyone is making such a great difference for us.
Okay, so I just have to say, because I know you see what I see, and this was not planned, but you know Anita and Matt?
Yes.
Yeah. You see how much they donated, right?
I do.
Yeah. And so that's the benefit of having this kind of campaign, because folks can donate any amount that they want to. In this case, Anita and Matt donated $500. $500, right?
Big shout out to Anita and Matt. Thanks, Matt and Anita.
Big shout out. And so it says, go Nathan, go Dolphins, right? They're a super supporter and a return supporter. So that's very, very awesome. And then, okay, see, Anita and Matt, they got some money, because not only do they, let me tell you, this is the power of the thing. You got two sons on the team, and so they were like, you know what, Nathan, let's go ahead and donate $500 for Nathan. But then went ahead and donated $500 for Matthew. So that's just $1,000 right there. And so that's very, very cool. So big shout out to Matt and Anita. Hopefully you guys will come out. Are they local, Mark?
They are, and they've been big supporters of Pally football, and actually Nathan and Matthew have known them since they were little tots. And actually Matt has coached Nathan's some of his teams going back to grade school.
Okay, so make sure when they come to a game, man, I just want to meet them. I just want to shake their hand. So appreciate you, Matt and Anita, for your $1,000 donation in support of the Spoonamore boys. And so, and again, I just highlighted them because they, that's a large amount. But whatever you guys can give in support of your favorite Pally football player, it is what it is. And so they're in the position where they can donate $500 to each kid. You got somebody who anonymously donated $200 to a Pally football player. Tanya Lightington donated $50, right? 2 days ago. It doesn't say who she's supporting, but $50 is $50, right? Barbara Walton and Griffin donated $50, and so it doesn't matter. Murray L. Reese donated $50, and so you just have a whole bunch of cheering going on the cheer wall, and so if we just keep scrolling, hopefully I'll see somebody who donated in my son's name. Oh, okay. There we go. We got Patrick Payne. Okay, Patrick Payne dropped 35. Hey, I appreciate it, my man. So yeah, the cheer wall is the best thing that I like to see. And you know what? Before we leave the cheer wall, I did see a wonderful, and I pulled it down for me to use during social media. It was this one right here. Angelica V. Hernandez donated $100, and here's what she said. Pally High School is literally across the street. We have heard the football cheers, whistles, and announcements during the home football game since Matias was born. We always imagine hearing Matias Hernandez for Pally High. This year, his dream to play high school football is coming to fruition. He's playing uh, he has planned this fall since he was a kid. Bravo to you, Matias. Hard work does pay off. Stay motivated, stay focused. Keep on creating your own path. Te amo, madre. And so I like that one. They live across the street, and so now it's his time to shine on the football field. So I just wanted to highlight that one. I'm gonna highlight it within these last 7 days as well on our social media. And so yeah, just a shout out to all the parents, supporters, family members who donate, to Pali football, man. I think that was kind of cool, huh, Mark?
It was very cool. That's one of the most awesome things.
Yeah, that's one of the awesome. And then I know some of the other sports teams might use snap raise. Snap raise is, our snap raise rep is very, very cool, and so he kind of helps us throughout every step of the way. And so shout out to Aaron Carp for helping us during our snap raise fundraising. So here we go. We have about $3,120 left to go before we can do this. Before we can celebrate, drop confetti. Before we can get excited, man. So, Mark, I appreciate you hopping on, man. Any last words? Any other thing you want to say as it relates to our fundraising campaign?
Not really. You've just covered it all. Thanks for having me, James, and thank you for your great work on social media and televising the games and doing the live streams. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I just remember last year. Now was that your wife in Thailand?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me just tell this brief story. So, like I said, he has two sons. Last year he was not last. Yeah, last fall he was a junior playing football, and so I'm live streaming as I normally do, walking up and down the sidelines, and we get folks from all over watching on the East Coast and just up and down East Coast, from East Coast to West Coast and in the middle, right? Sometimes we'll have a family member in Spain, but on this particular night, his wife was in Thailand, and so she was watching from Thailand. And I'm just like, wow, how cool is that? She's watching her boy, or I don't know if she was able to pick out her son playing, but at least she was watching the game, supporting Pali football over in Thailand. That was very, very cool. So, Pali football on a Friday night, if we do the live stream, we have no borders. We go worldwide. And then she also sent me a mask. It's somewhere around here. Just mask real big time a couple of months ago. So I appreciate her, and I appreciate your sons, and I also appreciate you, Mark, for hopping on tonight and just shedding some light about our fundraiser that we have 7 more days to donate. So I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you, James. It's been great being with you.
All right, so now you get to go and repair somebody's shin, right? All right, Mark.
I will see you later.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So there he goes. That was my man, Mark, over there. Just appreciate him hopping on and being a part of our live stream tonight. Let me pull it in just a tad a little bit. I want you to see the extras that I got going on in the Dolphin studio. Okay, so appreciate Mark. And again, if you haven't had a chance to donate, please make sure you do. And we'll post a link on our social media feeds. I know it's on our IG feed already in our bio. It's probably on our Facebook page as well. And so we'll repost those so that you can have an opportunity to donate to your favorite football player. All right, now, we also talked about last week. Last week we had our football night practice under the lights, and so I do want to highlight some of our photographs, some of the guys playing, and we had a couple of parents take some pictures, and so this is one group of photos that we'll just kind of scroll through real quick, just showing the boys in action. So, hey, who's that guy right there? Who's that bearded guy? So, yeah, these are on our Pali HS Football page, and so you can take a look if you have a son. He might have been captured last Friday night. But, yeah, we had a wonderful time. The Taco Man was there. We had merch being sold, and so it was a wonderful opportunity for the parents to come out and watch the kids, watch the fellas practice, under the Friday night lights. We also had the Pali QB board kind of talk about what's going to happen this season. We talked about some of the 707 tournaments. We talked about fundraising. And so just a wonderful opportunity for the Pali football community to come together. And, we had a former Pali football player, and that's actually one of my sons at Cy. We're talking to Coach Hajduk right there. And so, yeah, just a wonderful opportunity. Coach Reed right there. And the boys were just kind of getting at it, doing what they do, and I'm sure they were having fun showing out and practicing in front of their parents. So we have this group of photos, and we also have another group of photos as well. This is Dylan right there. Okay. All right. So Coach AJ. So we finished with that group, and then we also have this group of photos as well. So we had two dads taking pictures, one from the stands, one on the field. And so just having fun, just kind of recapping what we do. That's Coach Mott right there. And Coach Garcia. Again, Coach Todd. Coach AJ, I believe he's new to the Pali community coaching staff. And again, just the players, their side again. A good time was had. That's my other son. Let me go back. That's Savior. There he is. The last of the Riley boys. Coach Todd, Garcia, Dylan doing his thing. Some of the QBs slinging the ball. Coach Hajduk, Coach LaHenry, Coach Jeremy Reed. And so, yeah, just a wonderful time last week. And so, you have an opportunity. You have access to these photos. And so if you want to use them, if there's your sons are in the picture, you can use them on your social media, download them and use them to help promote Pali football. And so there's some of the guys showing off their gloves. And I think that should be the last. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So just a wonderful time last week, Friday night practice under the lights. And, just good times. All right. The next thing I just want to highlight is our merch shop. So this year, we're opening an online merch shop. And you're probably asking, well, what is a merch shop? Well, let me show you what our merch shop looks like as soon as I can find my mouse again. All right, so here we go. So customarily, we would have our merchandise, we would sell our merchandise in the stadium on game days or maybe some events prior to game day. And so now from the comfort of your own home, you can purchase your very own Pali football merch from our online store, and it will go directly to you. And so, let me fix that real quick. Lock that scene. Okay, so here is and I will put up the link for you guys, but let me just kind of scroll so you guys can see what are some of the offerings for the Pali football merch store. So we have these t-shirts here. Looks like they're $25. We have some for the ladies as well. $25. These are tank tops. And then we have some other shirts that folks can order. And we have a hoodie right there, the black hoodie. And I know the guys like the hoodie, but the fellas, some of the parents like the hoodies as well. So last year, for the past several years, we've had one of our Pali football parents to kind of design, and we would go print and then bring that merch to the stadium. However, this time we're doing something new. We're going to have these are on our online store. So all you have to do is go and we'll share the website where you can click and purchase. And so let's say I want this black t-shirt right here. I click on it. I put it in my cart, and it's $25. You select the size. So I'm a 2X. I just add to the cart, right? And boom, there it is. So it's a $2 increase because it's a 2X, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. And so however many shirts you want, there's going to be a shipping fee involved, excuse me, as well. They'll come to your house about, within 2 to 3 weeks, and then you can wear them at your leisure to the football games, at practices, wherever you might go, just advertising Pally Football. And so you're probably asking, well, Facebook James, where can I get this merch from? So all you have to do is go to pressinsow.com, PRESSNSOW.com/Pally Football. And that will get you to the merch store. I'm sure information will be, or if it hasn't already been, will be sent out from our board president, Lisa Manheim, as to where you can purchase your merch. And so, Press and Sew, a shout out to Andrew and Sylvia for having or hosting our online merch. I know one of the, my wife, Maisha, was going, just communicating with Press and Sew. And so, because of the communication, we were able to get our merch store up and running. And so, please go buy, make yourself look nice, and all kind of different offerings. And so let's just go back and make sure you log in, because sometimes they'll offer like a 10% off kind of situation, especially if you're brand new to Press and Sew. So that's the merch shop. Shirts are $25, and the hoodie is $40. And so I'm not too sure if they're going to do sweatshirts or whatever, but just check out the merch shop, and we'll update it as often as we can in terms of what new offerings we might have online. And just know, once you get the orange package shipped to your home, I believe it's orange. I know sometimes I purchase some stuff from there, and my packaging is orange, or it might be purple or black. But you will not be disappointed. Their merchandise is high quality, and so we just appreciate Press and Sew, Andrew and Sylvia, the owners of that particular website, to set this up for us. So, good job. Go buy as much as you want and have it shipped directly to your home. All right, guys, we're almost done. And so you might have heard about Coach Marsden. Coach Marsden is no longer our JV football coach. And so I had an opportunity a couple of days ago to talk to Coach Marsden, and he kind of explained, why he had to step back from coaching the JV football team. And so I just want to, wanted him to come on the show and just kind of talk about some of the best things that he remembers about Pally football, why he loves coaching. And, as he said, and as you'll see in the video, it's not goodbye, because he's still going to be around on campus. It's just, I'll see you on the sidelines. And so let's go ahead and get into this interview with former JV head coach Ray Marsden. All right, so Coach Marsden, what's I see you just taking the last sip right before we start. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, I just got to wet that whistle. I'm good. Thank you.
Coach Marsden, so I heard from the grapevine, or I had to hear from the grapevine, that you are no longer going to be the JV coach. And I was devastated, because you've had some major success for the, since I've been at Pally, and I'm sure you've been there quite a long time, man. So kind of give us the background, the backstory of why the sudden change.
Okay. Well, I guess at the end of the day, I thought it was kind of someone else's turn to get behind the wheel of the Ferrari. But I kind of knew with the last fall season was unlike any other, and a lot of new hurdles, a lot of new hula hoops. And I just kind of felt like it was kind of the beginning of the end. And I'm like, I started to get my mind right for, hey, I've got to make sure that this program and these kids are in a position where they have someone that has all the bandwidth that they deserve.
Sure.
And the Bell schedule is changing next fall.
Yes.
And not now, but see, the Bell schedule is changing next fall, and I won't be on the road until way later. And I've got 2 young boys that I've got to pick up every day and take to Little League, take to Pop Warner, pick up one from daycare. and just this new bell schedule is not going to work. I don't think it's a good idea overall,
Right.
but
Right.
it's a new law. The school has to comply. And once that bell schedule kind of they talked about it, but once it became like, hey, this is going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought there's no way. I'm not going to keep leaving practice early or handing it off to an assistant.
Sure.
It, it's not fair to the boys. So I made the decision I was going to shift gears and just have a different role in the program. I'm not, and I told the boys the ninth grade boys were the first ones to know, other than my wife.
Sure.
That that I told them, I go, now that the new varsity coach has been chosen, and I'm very happy with the decision made by the board or the committee or whatever it's called to pick Coach Hajduk. Now that I know that the program's in good hands, I want you guys to be the first to know that I'm going to shift responsibilities, and but I'm not abandoning you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have just a different role, and they took it great. I got some really nice emails from former parents of former players of mine, and it kind of made me feel good that, like, hey, like, they know I'm not riding off into the sunset. I'm gonna still
Absolutely.
be available, and just in a different capacity. And like I said, it's kind of someone else's turn to, you know,
Right.
do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, and then I just want to track back to you're referencing the bell schedule, and so just in case you didn't know, California, I believe California is a statewide law, new law that goes into place next school year, where high school can not begin no later than 8:30. Correct, Coach?
8:30. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see how that's gonna cause a disruption in your normal family life. I mean, because those, it's 30 minutes, but it's your 30 minutes, right? And so, you can do a lot in that 30 minutes. And so, I totally understand your decision as a dad. You kind of felt the tug that,
Yeah.
and so maybe this was kind of like the last straw, if you will, just to kind of solidify your
Yeah.
thoughts about moving on and having someone else take over the program.
Yeah, I like to blame it on that because I think it's such a horrible law.
Sure.
So I want to be like, look, there's collateral damage to that. But also, I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I just want to be involved,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't want to come home with nothing in the tank. And Friday, like, I tuck them in Thursday, I don't see them till Saturday,
Sure.
and then when I see them Saturday in the morning, I'm still thinking about the game from Friday night, and then I'm calling injured players to see how they're doing, and then I'm contacting next Friday's coach about film. And now this gives me a chance to kind of, like,
Be dad.
yes, exactly.
Absolutely. And I mean, and those years are critical. Speaking of a dad of, 3 sons and 1 daughter, I know how much, that time is really, really important to the development, because, you want to spend time with the kids doing
Yeah,
whatever it is that dads do, go to the park, little
yeah,
league, Pop Warner, as you said, or hockey, whatever the case might be. You
yeah,
want to have that time to spend and not have to really worry about your football team. So, I
yeah,
commend you, Coach. I mean, that's a wonderful gesture, and I know that the program is going to continue in its successful ways. So let's kind of
yeah,
transition a little bit, man.
yeah.
Let's take a walk down memory lane.
Okay,
Now, how long have you been the JV coach at Pali?
okay. So I had 2 stints. I was the JV coach for 3 years in 2009, 10, and 11.
Okay.
I stepped away for 2 years, and then I was the head coach when Hyde came into the program in 2000. I believe it was definitely 13. It was the year I got married. It was 2013, and he got hired while I was on my honeymoon. And when I came back, I was on the committee and kind of, like, gave my 2 cents on all the different candidates. And when I came back, they said Coach Hyde has been offered the job, and I was like, okay, good call. And he came up to me and goes, "You're my head JV football coach." And I said, "Well, I haven't coached in 3 years." And he goes, "You're my head JV football coach." I went, "All right." So 2013 until 2021.
Man, that's and
Yeah,
you've had some wonderful seasons. I know since
yeah,
my three boys have all played under you.
Yeah.
Sir, Sire, and Savior, man, and there are countless others, right? There's brothers that you've coached, cousins, I'm sure. I mean, just nephew. I mean,
I've had friends' sons. I've had when I went from Paul Revere to Pali, I had former Paul Revere kids. The younger brothers are always my favorite. Just really cool seeing I guess we call them legacy kids come through.
Sure.
And I've had teachers at Pali's sons play for me, which is cool. Russ Howard, the assistant principal, who's my boss basically, his kid played for me.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
No, I mean, and it runs the gamut, man, and it just speaks to your availability to coach the kids, because for a lot of these guys, some of them have never, and you kind of allude to that all the time at the beginning of the season. A lot of these kids have never played Pop Warner before, and so you have to spend those first few weeks, coaching how or instructing them how to put on a shoulder pad, a helmet. Where does why is it important for you to wear a jock strap and a cup and all that kind of good stuff, man? And so those are instrumental things that football players need to know. Of course, you have some who've played in Pop Warner before, and so they're used to it, man. And so what better way to have a wonderful coach like yourself for a lot of these kids who've never been experienced to Pop Warner, to have you as their first high school coach.
Thanks. Yeah, and I mean, it didn't happen overnight in my first year, but by the time I guess my second stint rolled around, it was like there were curveballs along the way, and there's every day something new happens you've never dealt with. But in the most part, it was like little things like mouthpiece check and talking to counselors and just stuff that you can go into autopilot and be like, well, I've done this before a million times. And
absolutely
and it was but like you said, we have all ends of the spectrum in JV football at Palisades. It's kids who have never played and kids that are one snap away from going up to varsity the next week. And it was kind of fun. That was the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's talk about some of your coaches who served next to you on the JV squad. I mean, Coach Loftus. I know when when my boy started as a 10, Coach Loftus was there, and then you've had just a gamut of other coaches, folks who just in and around the Pali high school community, man. Let's talk about some of your coaches that has stood next to you, as a JV football coach, man.
Yeah, I coached with Rocky Montz in my first job at Pali, and now he's now the OC on varsity. Tony Ryan, who's a lifelong friend of mine, was at my wedding. Like he's not at Pali anymore, but him and I talk on a regular basis. He was great. He was such a good coach, and was on campus and was just like available, and the kids like I think we've talked about this in the past, where when you have 60 boys that are from 60 different backgrounds, you're not going to connect with every one of them. You're not going to relate to every one of them. But to have a diverse staff of, football experiences, life experiences, the kids are going to find a coach to gravitate to if you have that. You can't have 3 Ray Marsdens. You can't have 3 Tony Ryans. You got to have a blend. And which the varsity team right now completely has. They have one of everybody on the varsity staff, and kids, they're going to have that favorite coach. And Tony was just awesome. Justin Graham coached with me for a year, and I was texting with him back and forth this weekend. He coaches at El Camino now. I don't know if you saw the video of their 7-on-7. They got in a little. Yeah, so I texted him right away, and he wrote right back. It's like we're great friends, even though we're at different places now. Sean Gettins, I was texting with him back and forth today. Sean's in Northern California, and he was like my guy, because when I first had my first son, I had to be on the road, and literally I'd get home and relieve my wife when she was on maternity leave, and I just had to, and I needed to make sure that if I had to leave practice early, or if it was a defense day, which wasn't my day, I was offense and special teams, that the team was in good hands. And Sean I had no problem with him whatsoever. I knew for a fact, if I left, the show went on, and it was they wouldn't even know I had left. and Sean was amazing. Sean Brown was a line coach for a year, and then Adam Lycia was. You know how much I missed Adam was that like he was such a good coach and the kids love him and he's stern. He's on campus and he's like a father figure to a lot of these boys. And last year when he did double duty,
Yeah.
when he was up on varsity and wasn't down with me for a practice or for the first hour of practice, like I knew he wasn't there because things weren't going as smoothly as if it was me and Adam running the show. Instead, it was just me out there last year for the first hour. So I don't think I'm missing anybody. Like, yeah, I just had a really good crew, like guys that I trust that I would let them coach my son, and guys that were my friends that I'm still friends with. We still hang out, we still go to games together, and it's been a good group.
Yeah, I think for me, Coach, I would say Coach Loftus was the guy who always kind of stood out. In the like I said, when my boy started to attend, he was there. You could tell with his loud voice. He really didn't need a microphone. You can hear him from the stands, the sideline. I mean, he just had that nice, booming, loud voice. And then he took some time to step away, and then came back last year to kind of he saw that you needed some assistance. He stepped in and kind of did his thing all over again. And I think for him, it just kind of brought back some memories. He kind of challenged himself. He had some fun coaching with the boys, and they gained some knowledge by having Coach Loftus on the field again.
Yeah. And what's comforting to me is I told the boys, they go, look, next fall I don't want to be a guy that kind of moonlights. Like, I'm not wired that way. I'm not going to just show up on Fridays and be like smacking helmets and telling kids what to do. Like, I'm going to be dropping in on practice and offering what I see, because I've seen Kelly Loftus do that. He hasn't been able to be there all day every day, but when he shows up and brings it, the kids respond. They're not like, who's this guy? Like, they understand, like, hey, this is found money. If a coach shows up that knows his stuff and is involved, they respond, and that made me comfortable knowing that, like, hey, next fall you might not see me on Monday or Tuesday, but if on Wednesday I drop in and I just say just even one thing, like, I'm not offending them, being like, oh, where's your commitment, or why aren't you here every day? They like it, because like I said, I'm not wired that way, and I'm trying to make that transition, but I still got to scratch that itch. And that's what Kelly was doing, was coming down, helping me out, and was just like major like savior for me last year when Coach Brown couldn't come for O-line, and I'm like, I need an O-line coach. And Kelly was there the next day, and like 20 years old again. Like, he's the guys, the energy he brings is
Yeah, no, it was like his eyes were wide open, just as he was, the few times that I was there, near the end of a practice, or even during the game, just his comments and just the way that he encouraged the boys, during the game or during practice was an awesome thing. And so I'm glad to know that you're going to be around. That this is not goodbye. This is just like, hey, I'm still part of what we got going on here at Pali. I'm just kind of shifting roles in a little bit, and who knows, maybe if you're going to be at Pali for a while, who knows, you might feel the need to come back in a more active way. But life has its way of helping us make changes that we may want or may not want. So it's always I'm going to be glad or forever grateful for you being there for my boys, and just doing just making an impact on their lives during their first few seasons, or first few seasons there, playing football. So I really
that was kind of cool, being the JV coaches, the introduction to high school football. That's where I came in, and seeing your three boys come through and all the others, it's like that was my wheelhouse. It was just like it was like really JV football is one of the last pure football levels in America. Like, definitely not varsity, definitely not college or pro. JV is kind of like there's still the innocence, and it's just about football and the drills and the technique. And it was just always more fun for me to like less the business aspect. But when Hajduk was hired, him and I sat down, and he's trying to convince me to be the OC or stay as the JV. And he always just kind of like out of the blue will be like, so you're coaching the quarterbacks next fall, right? And I keep having, but we did agree on, there's no teachers on the football staff. Like every football coach now at Pali is from off campus.
Right.
But during the day, there is a lot that goes on to make sure practice goes off well.
Sure,
and
sure.
I'm talking about kids dropping off their pads at 7:30 a.m. Someone needs to open the locker room. Nutrition, the second wave of kids that didn't make the first thing come in. Lunch, kids need like a helmet, like face mask change. They need someone to talk to their counselor. They need a bus pass. So I told Hajduk, they need PE credit. They need a credentialed PE teacher in order to get a grade for the class and credit.
Sure.
And I told Hajduk, that's me, man. I'm your day-to-day like stuff, so you don't have to do the paperwork. Yeah, you don't have to do the emails, the paperwork. I know all the counselors. I'm cool with the deans. I will make sure that when you get here, whenever he gets there on campus, that it's football time, and you don't have to like give some kid his locker combo, for example.
Absolutely. And as small as those things might be, they're huge in the scheme of things, because those small little things, they keep adding up, right? They add up, and it becomes its own bear, as its own assignment. So having you as the teacher on file, definitely helps, because all they just need to do is come in and speak football to the boys.
Yeah. I'm telling you, during the season, me and Coach Lycia, who won't be coaching next year, although I know he's going to end up like he'll want to scratch that itch too. But for the time being, he's not on paper as a coach. But during the day, him and I are just firefighters, just all day long, just putting out fires. People have no idea the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score that we have to do all week long to make sure on Friday that when the ball is kicked off, it's go time. And there's not like just there's so many little things that people don't understand that have to go into making sure we're ready on Friday.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and talk about conditioning right now. I believe the boys are in a 6-period football class. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So kind of talk us through. I guess we're definitely in between seasons. We've definitely finished the fall season. We've had, we're almost through the whole spring semester and have had football for this time. So what kind of has happened during the fall football class at Pali?
The spring football.
I'm sorry, spring football class. Yes.
So that's always we put all the kids together. There's 78 boys on my roster. Roughly 10 didn't play football, but expressed an interest and earned an invite into the class. The rest were in the class, or were in the team in the fall, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. We put them all together, and in the past, it's been conditioning, just flipping tires, lifting weights, running, stadiums. We had weight room, which we don't have this spring because they're redoing the gym, which has been just another curveball thrown our way. So we haven't had the weight room, but that's how it's been in the past. And I've always said that Sair, like his class, which was class of 2020, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
His junior year, 2019, was when his class was in charge of the spring football because they were the juniors, no seniors in the class. I've always said that 2019 spring class was just a Rolls Royce. Like those juniors had that class. It was unbelievable what they got done. This year, when Coach Hajduk got hired, and it was always me kind of like just supervising and making sure everything's going well. This year, Coach Hajduk has been coming every other day, and have so have the other coaches since he got hired. They're installing plays. They're working on their defense. They're going over their schemes. This team is going to be more prepared than any team we've ever had at Pali. Because when the fall comes, you don't have time to really you can tweak stuff, but the summer is when you kind of got to put everything in. He's already put it in. So this summer is going to be I'm so excited to see where we're going to be when we start like really getting after it and hitting and then playing games, because they're going over their offensive playbook right now, and that's never happened this soon.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so just a couple more questions. I know you have family time over there. I don't want to call it babysitting because you're not babysitting because they're your kids, right? But you are, your wife is out, and so you're in charge.
Yeah,
So
one just had a bat in the air, and he's not
so
swinging a bat.
so I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do want to ask you these just maybe one or two more questions as we finish up. So
Yeah.
just can you tell us some of your greatest accomplishments as being the JV football coach at Pali during your both stints? Maybe
Yeah.
a game or a play or just something that you really brings a smile to your face when you think about it.
Okay, so my first stint was in 2009, and we beat Venice for the first time, from what I was told, in like 20 years, and we won the league championship. And I remember that being like, that was back when I used to, before games, I was nervous. It was my first time being in charge. It was like butterflies, all that. And when we beat Venice, it was like that. I vividly remember beating them and just like feeling like okay, we can do this, like it just, that turning that corner where I knew we could compete with and beat good teams
Mm-hmm.
meant a lot. It like validated me getting the job. Second stint, I think obviously I went undefeated in 2017, and that was awesome. That'll never be topped. But we've won 6 out of 7 league championships. The one league championship we didn't win, that was size freshman year,
Sure.
and there was that was a really good team, and they deserved it. And there was just a lot of things that went into us not winning the championship, which it was just fine because they ended up using that as a springboard into a great varsity success the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
But I think there's something I'm the most proud of, and it's hard to like quantify. It's just the retention. The majority of my boys return. They play the next year. They don't have a bad experience. They don't have a sour taste in their mouth. They don't. We've had a couple of kids transfer, and a couple of maybe 1 or 2 kids realize like football's not for me.
Sure.
The vast majority of the kids like I finish their career playing football all 4 years, and that to me is really like makes me happy knowing like, hey, 4 years ago that kid wanted nothing to do with Oklahoma drills.
Right.
He thought he wanted to play football, but he was very timid, and now he's a senior. He's got his letter. He stuck it out. That's what I was trying to say. A lot of the guys stick it out, and like that makes me proud when I see the kids that go through the program 4 years, knowing that they weren't turned off by their experience when they were in our.
Yeah. So as we close up, and to your point, I don't want to mention this player by name, but
Okay.
I was kind of shocked. So we had the practice a couple of nights ago on Friday night practice, and there was one guy who's now a senior, who when he played JV was kind of short, stocky little guy, curly hair, and I'll give you the initials. You can figure it out. LC.
He's a senior. He's going to be
He's a senior now. He's a senior
Okay.
now. I'll share with you off.
Yeah.
I'll share with you off air. But
Okay.
I mean, and just talk and just I was just so amazed by the transformation. I mean, he never was a big guy, but when I saw him the other day, I had to look at him. I was like, he was talking to me. He's like, hey, Facebook James, blah blah blah, or Mr. Riley, whatever. And I was like, hey, who are you? And he's like, I am. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so just the transformation from freshman to senior, and seeing boys who probably didn't get a lot of play on any of the teams, but this young boy, he might get some play. I mean, I was just like, just the transformation. I was just really, really shocked at just his transformation. I don't know whatever the word, but I was just really, really surprised. And I'm glad that he kind of stuck it through
Yeah.
And is still with the team, still wants to play football. He probably is not going to play on the next level, but just to be on the football team doing what he does, is a testament to to you laying a wonderful foundation, the boys on the team, and then the current coaching staff. And so I just want to say I appreciate you again. I'm giving you your flowers. I appreciate our I'm gonna miss our talks after the game. I guess I'll have to put that on Coach Todd. I'm gonna have him on in a couple of days. But man, I just appreciate, and then I just want to give you some last whatever you want to say right now, Coach. The mic is yours. Go ahead and say whatever you like to say as relates to Pali football, family, whatever it is that you want to say.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask about my team records and stuff, and I know I remember every single loss over the last 8 years, which hasn't been a lot. I remember some big plays. I remember every player, and that's all great. But the one thing I wanted to say, and I hope this gets out there to the parents, is that so my boys are 6 and 4, and I hear often, that my dad was the first to say it, and I've heard it from people I know, and then I've heard it in passing from random people that the days are long, but the years are short, and they're like, before you know it, these guys are going to be gone. So enjoy it, right? And you know as well as anybody.
Man, listen.
And I want the parents to understand, this is the last lap. Your kids are in high school. Get involved. Sign up, do the snack stand, come to the games. It breaks my heart when I have kids who have to ride the bus back to Pali because no one came to watch them play. Get involved because this is it. This is it. Your kid's playing high school football. He might not even step on the field, but he's there. And please, the parents that are involved, I've always appreciated them. And the kind words I got when I stepped down from parents reaching out going, I would give anything to go back to when my kid was 6 years old. You're doing the right thing. That really, I really appreciated that because it was hard for me to step down from being the head JV football coach. That was my niche at Pali. And so I hope that message gets out there. People show up. Your boys. It's I know it's your last lap, but I know you're soaking up every single minute of it, and you're doing something like this, and the quarterback club is involved, and we have the same guys on the chain gang.
Right.
But there's other people that come on, man, make it happen. Get out there. It's 10 Fridays in the fall.
Absolutely. No, man, we appreciate you, man. And like I said, I can remember my oldest sons. I can remember his first JV game, right?
Uh-huh.
I can I can remember his last varsity game, and he just graduated from college, and he's continuing to play at another university. He's taking his talents somewhere else. And so, yes, what you said, your quote was spot on, and I hope these parents really understand that it's gonna fly by really, really quick. So.
Crazy. It's crazy. I mean, these boys, this senior class, Saviors, they're juniors, but they're seniors. What they've been through in the last 4 years, and I cannot believe these guys. They came in. I think we went 8-1 their freshman year. Sophomore year, they didn't get to come to campus, and then they got to tag along in the spring football. Then they just had their junior year, went 10-0. These guys are now seniors, and it's it with all the craziness that's happened in the world the last 2 years and everything else, it still feels like yesterday that I was okay, who went to Paul Revere? Who's from a different school? Who's played Pop Warner? And I was in the weight room doing that first introduction, and now here they are, they're young men. It flew. So get involved.
Absolutely. Coach Ray Marsden, we appreciate you, man. Like you said, it's not goodbye. It's just see you later. You're still going to be around the football program. You're going to probably be the teacher of record. So
yes, sir.
Thanks for hanging out with me, man. Just kind of clearing the air. And, we're going to miss you, on the JV field. But I'm sure the guys who are going to take over, they're going to do a wonderful job. So yeah,
they're in good hands. I've been watching Coach Todd, and they're in good hands. I don't even want to He knows I'm a resource if need be, but I'm just like, I know the kids are in good hands. So, and the varsity with Coach Reed and Garcia, like Henry, these boys are in great hands with awesome coaches. Every coach on the staff. I've said this before, and I'm not lying. Like I would not do a disservice to anybody. I would not lie. Like every coach on that staff could coach my boys. No problem.
That's real cool. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you, man, and we're going to let you get back to your family time and all that kind of good stuff. So we appreciate you taking the time out, hopping on the live, and just answering some questions about your Pali football JV experience.
Sounds good. Thanks, James. Feel like old times, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Appreciate it.
All right, there we go. Okay, was having some, was getting word right there. So yeah, man, just thank Coach Morrison for hopping on and just trying to clear the air. He's going to be around for a little bit longer, and so definitely on the sidelines. And so he's moving from coaching hood, and he's going to continue, fatherhood with his boys who are 6 and 8. And so that's a wonderful adjustment that he made. He realized that he definitely wanted to be a part of his son's life, and so great for him to be a part, and just so happy to have known Coach Marsden and just the success that he's had with the JV program. I'm sure Coach Todd is going to do a wonderful, wonderful job, and so again, I'll say it again, just appreciate Coach Ray Marsden as being the man. Okay, being the man. Looks like my sound is very, very low. Let me see what's going on over here. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, so again, just appreciate Coach Marsden and everything that he's done for Pali football. All right, guys. So we've been on for about an hour or so, and so we're going to finish up our hour and 15 minutes. So we're going to finish up the show tonight. Appreciate everyone who kind of peeked in or peeked out at different points tonight. And so if you're watching on Facebook, you still can drop some comments in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, you can definitely do us a favor. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment, and like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell just in case you want to be notified anytime we drop a brand new video. As a matter of fact, we're going to try to come go live every single Thursday for the next couple of weeks. We've got a couple of new football coaches, and so if we can pinpoint some time for them to just hop on the live and just kind of talk about them, introduce themselves to the Pali football community, that'll be really, really cool, okay? And so other than that, I think I'm done tonight. We kind of recapped our spring fundraiser. We're about $3,200 short of our $35,000 goal for the spring fundraiser. We've talked about our merch shop, and so please go check out our merch shop. And other than that, I think it's just time for me to say thank you for watching. Take care, be safe, and as always, go Pali. Peace out. Thanks for watching.
Hey, win on me, win on 3, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a P! Stop playing with a P! Stop playing with a P! Stop playing with a P!